All right. So that's the end of that. I did want to read one more article about AI, which was on Claude, talking about AI regulations. And I think it was quite interesting, guys, because as AI has gotten more advanced, it's now easier than ever for somebody to learn how to create a bomb, how to create a napalm. And so I would just like to bring awareness to, I want to bring awareness to this potential pitfall, is that people who want to use AI for nefarious purposes have tremendous opportunity these days. And so a case for targeted regulations, let's just pull it up to make it big. Case for targeted regulations. Increasingly powerful AI systems have the potential to accelerate scientific progress, unlock new medical treatments, and grow the economy. I can't tell you guys how excited I am for new medical treatments with AI. I currently have a friend who was diagnosed with cancer, and I'm really happy. I even feel like it's worth me losing maybe perhaps my purpose in life, which is programming, in order to help some of these people. And so, but along the remarkable new capabilities of AI comes a significant risk. Governments should urgently take action on AI in the next 18 months. The window for proactive risk prevention is closing fast. Judicious, narrow, targeted regulation can allow us to get the best of both worlds, realizing the benefits of AI while mitigating the risk. Dragging our feet might lead to the worst of both worlds: poor design, knee-jerk regulations that hamper progress while also failing to be effective at preventing risk. In this post, we suggest some principles for how governments can meaningfully reduce catastrophic risk while supporting innovation in AI thriving scientific and commercial sectors. Cool. It seems like everybody. But it is what it is. Urgency. In the last year, AI systems have grown dramatically better at math, graduate level reasoning, and computer coding, along with many other capabilities. Inside AI companies, we see continued progress as yet undisclosed systems and results. These advances offer many possible applications. But progress in these same broad capabilities also bring with it the potential for destructive applications, either from the misuse of AI in domains such as cybersecurity or biology, or from the accidental and autonomous behavior of the AI system itself. So I guess they're talking about, like, there's people who could use AI in order to create bombs or whatever. And then there's AI maybe becoming so smart that it wants to make more strenuous decisions. Like, if you've seen Claude being able to use the computer, right? Like, what if Claude is using the computer in order to, like, donate your bank account to some health cause? And I don't know, because when you talk about these models, if you guys know programming, that it is very tedious. And so I'll get back into it. In the realm of cyber capabilities, models have rapidly advanced on a broad range of coding tasks. Cyber offense evaluations on the Sweetbench software engineering task models have improved by being able to solve 1.96 of test set of real-world coding problems to 13% to 49% Claude 3.5 Sonnet. Internally, our Frontier Red Team has found that a current model can already assist on a broad range of cyber offense-related tasks. We expect that the next generation of models, which will be able to plan over long, multi-step tasks, will be more effective. On the potential for AI exacerbating CBRN, chemical, biological, radiological, and nuclear misuse, the UK AI Safety Institute tested a range of models from industry actors including Anthropic, and concluded that models can be used to obtain expert-level knowledge above biology and chemistry. For several models, replies to scientific questions were on par with given PhD-level experts. So imagine if somebody is able to bomb or napalm or do whatever. That's bad. AI systems have progressed dramatically in their understanding of the science in the last year. The widely used benchmark GPQA saw scores on the hardest section grow from 38% when it was released in November 2023 to 59% to 77% in September. 01 experts 81. Our frontier road team has found continued progress in CBRN capabilities. For now, the uplift of having access to frontier model relative to existing software and internet tools is still relatively small. However, it's growing rapidly. As models advance in capabilities, the potential for misuse is likely to continue on a similar scaling trend. About a year ago, we warned that frontier models might pose real risk in the cyber and CBRN domains with 2 to 3 years based on the progress above. We believe we are now substantially closer to such risk. Socially careful regulation will soon be needed. So yeah, I don't know. How do you regulate this stuff? Because at the same time, it's like, obviously other countries are building their models as well. Like every country wants to be the country that creates Gen AI first. I think it's important for us to stay on lead, but how do we create that? How do we create regulation that is safe? So a year in Anthropic's responsibility scaling policy, grappling with the catastrophic risks of AI systems is rife with uncertainty. We see in the initial glimmer of risk that could become serious in the near future, but we don't know exactly when the real dangers will arrive. We want to make critical preparations well in advance. In Anthropic, we try to deal with the challenge via our responsible scaling policy, an adaptive framework for identifying, evaluating, and mitigating catastrophic risk. The first principle of RSP is the strength of our safety and security measures increase proportion with defined capability thresholds that the AI systems meet. The if-then structure requires safety and security measures to be applied, but only if the models become capable enough to warrant them. The second key idea is RSPT should be iterative. We regularly measure the capabilities of our models and rethink our security and safety approach in light of how we think, in light of how things have deployed. Anthropic has had formal RSP in place since September 2023, and other frontier models labs have, in varying degrees, adopted similar plans. RSPT serves as many useful purposes. They increase the levels of investment in computer security and safety evaluations. So I guess, yeah, providing more frameworks for measuring how better these models have become. Anything? Yeah, RSPC serves as a function for developers to flesh out the risk and threats of the models. So yeah, I guess publishing how much more smart, I guess, the models are and how they're performing is important. And having an RSP encourages developers to be transparent about their computer security and misuse practices. Yeah, I guess it's going to be something that most companies adopt into the future. I'm trying to see if there's anything else. RSPT are not intended to substitute for regulations, but as a prototype for it, based on our experience with RSPTs, we believe there are 3 elements that are key for effective AI regulation. Transparency. Currently, the public lawmakers have no way to verify the AI company adherence to its RSPT or similar plans to know the outcomes for any test run as part of it. A simple and sensible step is to require companies to have a published RSP-like policy describing high levels of their capabilities thresholds and related safeguards that are triggered when the model reaches them. Companies should also be required to publish a set of risk evaluations for each new generation of their AI systems so as to create a public record of the risk of AI systems, best practice for mitigating those risks. Finally, there should be some mechanism for verifying the accuracy of these statements. Agree. Incentivizing better safety and security practices. Transparency alone does not guarantee robust policies. Companies could simply declare weak safety and security practice. AI regulations should be also incentivize companies to develop RSPCs that are effective at preventing catastrophes. So, yeah, this is kind of funny to me, guys. Like, I've worked at a company, and I'm not going to say what it is, and I've heard horror stories about other people who worked at companies, just not to bring mine. But there's always this fight between making the business profitable and making it as safe as possible for their employees. And so it's a difficult balance, right? Because at the end of the day, if everybody gets fired and the business goes under, we're going to see a lot of people hating on how leadership handled the issue. And if the business focuses strictly on making money, then people get hurt. People die in factories. So there should always be checks and balances. And I guess, I don't know what incentivizes better safety and security practices, but I guess I have a question for you guys. Do you guys think that AI is capable of getting so smart that it causes harm to other human beings? Or do you think it's impossible that AI, its inception, has been built to serve us, not harm us? And so it's hard to say, but yeah, for me, I would say I don't think the LLMs have the power to become sentient and cause harm, at least from what I have seen. I don't think it's going to come. I think we're reaching the limits of scaling. And so, trying to think. I'm seeing my router go out. But yeah, I think we're seeing the... Okay, I'm just looking at my Wi-Fi connection. I think we're seeing some of the limits. Like, if you've seen some of these models, we have like a terabyte of parameters. And so, and that's costing like 20 million or 20 billion, something crazy, in order to build these systems. And yeah, I think when you talk about something being in the billions, it's like you are pooling the entire world's resources together in order to make this stuff. And so, I don't know, but we will find ways to make better applications. So, simplicity and focus. Whatever regulation we arrive should be as surgical as possible. They must not impose burdens that are unnecessary or unrelated to issues at hand. One of the worst things that can happen is to cause a catastrophic risk prevention and a link forming between regulations that need to prevent risk and burdensome ideological rules. Any bills or laws should also be simple to understand. Implementing complexity creates confusion and makes it hard to predict what will happen in practice. So yeah, I guess they're saying we want simple practices. The importance of getting this right soon. It is critical over the next year that policymakers, the AI industry, safety advocates, civil society, and lawmakers work together to develop an effective regulatory framework that meets the conditions above and agreeable in a wide range of stakeholders. In the U.S., this will be ideally happen at the federal level, though urgency may demand it instead of developed by individual states. The same applies to other governments around the world who are simultaneously considering AI regulations. Could you imagine, like, I don't know, one of these dictator companies making AI that destroys the world, like, because they don't want AI regulations? But this regulatory framework won't be perfect, and we are conscious that effective regulation is very hard to design, but getting this right is essential to realizing AI benefits and addressing its risk. Asking questions: should there be state, federal, and combination of state and federal regulations in the U.S.? what they're saying, California tried once and legislated the topic and made some significant progress via SB 1040, though we were positive about it overall. It was imperfect and wasn't able to garner the support of critical mass of the stakeholders. So yeah, I guess we're just saying how regulation isn't all that right now. What about regulations in other countries? Are beginning to think carefully about AI regulations. We think principles approach we've outlined were sufficiently simple and pragmatic that they could be helpful in the outside of use as well. That's interesting. Why not regulate AI by use case rather than trying to regulate general models? Regulation by use case doesn't make sense for the form and format in which modern AI applications are offered. On the consumer side, AI such as Claude AI and ChatGPT are offered to consumers a full general product which can write code, summarize documents, and possibly be misused for catastrophic risk. Because of these generalities, it makes more sense to regulate on the fundamental properties of the underlying models, like what safety measures it includes. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I guess I'm done with the article, but yeah, I think it's kind of hard to regulate AI models because you saw that Facebook just open sourced their Olama model. So if you wanted to train it to, I don't know, say illegal things, it is very possible. There's probably already a dark web LLM model, and so yeah, it is what it is. Oh my gosh, I just messed that up. Let me I'm gonna end it there, pull that back down.